friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be closing out my April budget with y'all and sharing all my progress updates. First thing I want to note is that my hands are looking dirty, and that's just because it's paint that I can't get off of them. So sorry about that, but I can't get it off, so we're just gonna roll with it. So for April, also like the fact that April is over is absolutely wild to me. It feels like it just started. But we're closing it out, and I'm excited to be caught up on videos and finally like more in real time with you all. So hoping that this will come out actually reasonably close to the end of April. I'm filming it on May 1st, so I am about to start setting up for May. So April was a really busy month for me at work. If you've been following along in my videos, you will have heard that by now. So it's like pretty bare bones here. There's not a lot of like goal setting or anything because I'm just trying to I was just trying to make it through April. And now that I have, I'm excited for May because I can kind of reset and focus on some new things in the next month. So for April, I've started closing out my budget, but I want to do some totals with y'all. But basically my full-time income was a little bit higher than I expected. And then I never bank on my side hustle incomes, but I did take home this amount of money. So in week one, I gave myself for take home pay $89, and then $185 in week 2, $159 in week 3, and $308 in week 4. So that is after taxes and expenses for my Etsy shop and this channel. So in total, my income was $3,429 this month, which is so fun, almost $1,000 more than what I anticipated having. So that's exciting. All my bills were pretty standard, except I did go to one additional small group class at my gym. So that was an additional $10, which is what this difference is here. So moving on from that, we'll go and talk about a few more exciting things. So over here, y'all know I put a set amount towards my debt payoff journey, and that was $405, and I did transfer all of that. But then for my side hustle income, I was able to put these amounts on each week. So we're gonna add it up and see total how much I put towards debt extra. So if we just add these up, we have $375, and then we'll add that to the 405, which means we put $780 towards extra debt payments this month. And we had $2,268 left to budget after my bills. So we will just subtract that from my debt payoff, which means we had $1,488 left for all my other categories. And I'm really happy with this number. I was almost able to match my extra debt payment just in my side hustle. So I'm hoping to continue this. And if you do follow along with me, I still have not received my inheritance money from my grandmother. So I'm hoping I'll get that in May, but if not, then my debt payoff will just take a little bit longer because I was planning to use some of that money to help me pay off my debt quicker. So I'm just going to roll with it and keep putting money towards my credit card and just try to get it paid off as fast as I can. So now for my spending, we'll just go through and add up all the blue. The blue is what I spent. The black is what I budgeted. So if I just add all those up for groceries, I will have spent $199. And that's because for the 4th week of April, I did have $1 left, which I will put aside for my first May cash envelope stuffing, and we'll put this somewhere. I also have some change in here that I can add to my change jar, so I'll pull that out. And then for eating out, I maxed it out every week, which means I spent $100 for the month. My flex funds did have some money left over this week. So we had $6 left over, which means we spent $14. So if we add up these numbers, we only spent $74 of flex money. So again, I'll stuff these in my next stuffing, which I'm filming today. And then fun, I did spend all that money this month as well as for alcohol. And then toiletries, I did end up spending a little in the very last week here, but I do have money left over. Let's get it a little more organized. So we have $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 left in toiletries, and I'm gonna put this in my household envelope. So that means we spent $11, so we have $9 left. I don't know why I did that, because I spent $11. I don't know. Okay. And then for gas, we just have a few dollars left as well. We have $6 left. So we spent $33 in week 1 and $36 in week 3, which means we spent a total of $69 for the month. And this I'm going to stuff in my gas envelope for my trip to California. So 2 of those rollovers do have a home already designated for them. So let's add this up and see how much I spent this month. So I spent $533, which means I was a little bit under budget. And we have $955 left to put into my sinking funds. For car maintenance, I did just put the consistent $10 a week, so that was $40 for the month, and same for volleyball. But for giving, I was able to put a little bit extra each week, so if we just add up each week, we put a total of $28 in giving, which is good, because I only, oops. Y'all caught this on my video, and I never went back and changed it, but I added up 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 to equal 1, which is not right. So this should actually be $0. So I did have a zero-based budget, and y'all caught that, and I did not, so thank y'all. And then for extra allocations, I did put more, because that's where I put my Etsy take-home pay usually. So we put an additional $255 there. So if we add up all of that, we get $363, which means we have $592 left to budget with. And for Father's Day, I put that set amount, same for 4th of July and for my boyfriend's birthday. And for my planner, which one of y'all asked for me to do a flip through of my new golden coil planner, so I will do that and post that for y'all. And then car tax, I also put the set amount, and I'm almost done with that, which is exciting. But for California, I was able to put more than I had anticipated, so we'll add that up and see what the total savings for that was. So that was $205 instead of $140. And then for my friend's birthday, we also put a little bit extra. So we put $115 towards that rather than $80. And then Christmas got its $40, and the savings challenge got its $40. So let's see how much we put in our fixed sinking funds. We put $550, and that means we had $42 left to budget, which I definitely spent because I put that I spent $0 like unbudgeted in my spending, but I did have unbudgeted expenses, so I pulled it from this and from my starting balance. That's not listed here, but my starting balance from last month. So you'll see that my starting balances for next month are lower than they usually are, or that they were going into April, and that's because I didn't track my spending a lot this month because it was busy, so I just it all worked out, so I just stopped counting. So yeah, I still have starting balances. I didn't go into debt. Like my credit card is at a zero. My Bank of America credit card, which I use to, I swipe my credit card and then pay myself back in cash and pay it off to get the travel rewards. So that credit card's at a zero balance as of today. So I paid everything off that I spent in the month. And so that's how I know everything is all balanced and good to go for May. So now we can fill in these numbers. So we put $780 towards extra debt. We spent $533 plus the stuff I didn't track that we're ignoring. We put $363 in my revolving, and we put $550 in my fixed. And this was $0, like y'all told me. And we're just gonna say 0, even though we know that's not true. So if we had 2,268 here, and then we'll subtract out all of these categories, and we should have something reasonably close to 0, so 42. What? Why did I? I'm supposed to add. We had $42 left over, but we're adding up the spending. So for bills, we did $1,160.47 plus $780 plus 533 plus 363 plus 550. There we go. So we had $3,386-ish, which is close to all the money that I took home this month. So that is it for closing out my budget there, but now we are going to do some of the end of month reflection pages that I do with y'all each month. If I can get to the back, here we go. So we are going to start by doing my debt payoff update. Okay, so as of today, my Citi credit card balance is $1,628.99, getting really close to that $1,500 mark. And my iPhone is at $205.83. So that's getting close to being under $200. And my minimum payment on that was $22.87 as usual. And I think my minimum payment on Citi was $45, but I can't remember. Yes. So this was $45 that I put towards that. My student loan balances have stayed the same. I didn't put any money towards that. Extra debt payments that I had planned were $405, and then my unplanned was $300 and something. Let's look back and see what that was. $375. That was $375. So total debt payments is adding up the minimum payments and the extra. So we put a total of $847.87 towards debt this month. Oh, that money could be going so many other places, but that is fine. Last month's debt balance was $7,307.01. And this month's debt balance is, we'll just add up all of this, $6,459.14. So our total progress was, we decreased our debt by $847.87, which makes sense because all my debts right now are 0% interest. So all of the money I put towards debt should be going towards my debt progress. So if we take that number and divide it by what we started with, our total monthly debt progress was 11.6%, which means that we paid off 11% of what we started with. So now this is the total amount I started with when I started this channel with my debt payoff journey, this $13,000. And we'll just repeat this month's debt balance here. So the overall debt progress there, we'll just subtract these numbers. So our total progress is $6,742.24, which means if we take that number and divide it by my total, we are over 50% done. We are 51.0%. So we are over halfway done paying off debt. Last month we were at like 45%, and now we are more than halfway done with my debt payoff journey. And I started in October. I started this channel in October of 2020, but I really started paying off debt a little bit more in August of 2020. So we're not even at the 1 year mark of my debt payoff, and I'm already more than halfway done. So that is so much faster than I ever anticipated it happening. And I'm just super, super excited. And I cannot wait to be credit card and consumer debt free by paying off these last two consumer debts. And then I'm going to figure out a plan for my student loans after that. So that is my debt payoff tracker. And now we're going to jump to my net worth, which is my new absolute favorite thing to track. So today is May 1st, 2021. And my net worth last month was $28,692.70. So let's see what it was this month. I'll start with debt since we just found out those balances. So we have $1,628.99 on my Citi card and $205.83 on my iPhone. So those are those two debts. And then we have these two debts for a total of $6,459.14. So we had already done that. So my starting balances for these two checking accounts, I ended up taking my starting balance in both of these and just splitting it down the middle so they'd have equal starting balances. So each of them have $33.58 in them, or they did before my May paycheck just hit my account yesterday. So those were those starting balances before I got paid. And then in my short-term savings account, I have $3,119.71. And this holds my sinking funds that I use prop money for, like my California trip, my friend's wedding, my car maintenance, my car tax, and my taxes for my side hustle, my business. So that is why this number is so high. It's the prop money that y'all see in my sinking funds videos. And then I have a long-term savings account, which is my emergency fund, and that has $5,029.15 in it right now, which is essentially the same. I went up a couple cents this month, so nothing too exciting there. I want to find a more high yield savings account to put that in, but I really don't know who's offering high yield right now. So if y'all know of any good high yield savings account, let me know down in the comments because I am looking for one. And then for my car, what I do is I take the general estimate off of Credit Karma. I know it's not super accurate, but it's something. And so I figured I'll just use that for now, just because net worth is just, for me, a general. I'm not trying to be super exact. I'm just trying to be pretty generic. So right now on Credit Karma, it says my car is worth $6,900, which actually went up since last month, which is interesting. So I'm curious how they calculate this, because last month it was only worth $6,150. So maybe the market is changing a little. I really don't know. Next is my retirement fund. And in my retirement fund, I have $21,123.96 as of the end of April. And that definitely increased by like almost $1,000 this past month, which is really great because I only contribute $235 of my own money into that. And then sinking funds, I have not added up, so darn. I'm going to need to do that really quick and I'll come right back. Okay, I just used my trackers to add up my sinking funds, and I have $538 in my fixed sinking funds. That's pretty low because most of it's in this short-term savings account. And then I have $1,429 in my revolving. You know what I need to do though? In my short-term savings, I need to subtract out taxes, which right now is $1,000 in there. So I'm going to do $2,000, and I keep forgetting this. So I'll say no Etsy tax. Okay, so let's add all this up. So my total is $37,206.98. So if I subtract my debt from this, I have broken 30K, which is so wild. So I have $30,747.84 as my current net worth, which is really great. So the change from last year, last month, is if I subtract last month's from this number. So it has increased $2,055.14. So now if I divide that number by what I started with last month, or ended last month started this month with, we had a change of 7.16% increase in my net worth, which is actually like way smaller than last month. I increased by like 21% last month, but that's because of the stimulus and the tax refund and all that. So that's still really good. I'm very happy with that. So the next page is just looking at my spending, and I've already filled this out in terms of what I budgeted for versus what my actuals were. And so for this, I basically go through and say whether I was over or under budget. And if I spent right at the budget, I'll just like draw a little line like I did there, which means that I'm like neither over or under. But in my spending, I'm either right at it or under budget. I did have some unbudgeted, but again, didn't track them, so we're ignoring them. I was over budget in bills, but that's okay because I was under budget in spending, so that kind of accounts for it. I was over in savings, which is a good thing, and over in extra debt payment, which is a good thing. And my starting balance is more than zero, so that's good. And bills and spending were under budget, which is good. And the rest of these savings and debt payoff were over, which was also good. So I'm just going to go through with this gel pen, and if it's like a good thing, I'll just like outline it in green just to like show the good things that I have done, which all of them are except the overspending and bills. But you'll see when I add up bills and spending together, I'm still under budget. So that is still good. So in terms of how much, I was under budget by $1 there, by $6 here, by $9 here, $6 here, by $8 here. I put an additional $358 towards savings that I didn't anticipate. And then I put an extra $375 towards debt. And obviously my starting balance is just the same. So in total for bills and spending, I was under by $14. And then total for savings. So down here, I add up my total savings with my starting balance. So 980 minus the 555 is $425 more of savings than I anticipated. And then this is just the same. It's the 375. And then the last thing I like to do is the percentages. So like what percentage of my available funds, which is my starting balance plus my income, what's the percentage of this spending compared to my total funding, basically. So I would do 199 divided by the 3536 here. So that would mean that groceries was about 6% of my total funds. So I'll go through and do that, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so all my percentages are done, and you'll see that my spending percentages are pretty low, but the biggest one being groceries, which makes sense. My bills are about 33% of my total funds. My savings are 26%, and my extra debt payments are 22%, and my starting balance is about 2%. So together, my bills and spending add up to 48% of my funding, which is less than 50, which is awesome. And then savings is 28%, and debt payoff is 22%. So I'm really happy with all of those percentages, and I have no complaints for those. So then what I do is I take these percentages here, and I'll put them from last month, I'll put them here, and from this month, I'll put them here, and then we'll just compare those. So for that, I do look at my March percentages, and so I'll go through and fill those out first. So you'll see that my percentages for spending and bills was much less in March than April, and that's because of the stimulus, the tax refund, and all of that good jazz. I was able to put more into savings, so you'll see savings really did a big kick, and I put some money towards debt. So that's the main difference, and you'll see also my change in my available funds went down by about $2,500, and that's, again, because I didn't have a stimulus or a tax refund. So those are the changes of my income. But yeah, overall, April felt like a really good month. And so the last thing I'll do is this last page in my budget planner, which is available on my Etsy shop. If you want to purchase it, I'll leave the link down below. But my monthly debt payoff was $800, and we'll round up to $48. So the percentage of that, of my available funds, oh wait, is that the right number? No, 3536 up here. 3536, which means this is 3,771. Okay, so 848 divided by this is about 24%. So about 24% of my available funds went to debt. And in total for city, I put 105 of extra, 45 of a minimum payment, and 375 of side hustle extra. So I sent a total of $825 there. My Verizon iPhone, I put just the minimum payment, and then I sent nothing to these. So this will be 0%, 0%. So now we'll do 825 divided by the 848. So that was 97% of my total debt payments this month went to city, and just 3% went to my iPhone, which makes sense. And for retirement, my monthly savings was $425 plus the $235 I put towards retirement. So in total, I saved $660. And that, if I divide by this number, is 17.5% of my available funds. That's not right. Okay, I had $980 of savings plus $235. I was like, that's not right. Okay. I was like, there's no way I saved more than I paid off debt. Okay, so $1,215 was my monthly savings. So let's see what the percentage is for that. So that is 32%. That makes more sense. Okay, I was so confused. So I saved $235 in my retirement. My starting balance was about $67. My revolving funds was, oh, how much did I put in it this month? Oh, I have that in my tracking. I put $363, and then fixed, I put $550. So let's see what those percentages are if we divide by my savings. Okay, so the majority of my savings went towards fixed, sinking funds, then revolving, then retirement, and then my starting balance. So that is it for just my general overview of where that money went. And I would say the wins for the month is that I didn't over budget to the point of it hurting my budget. Some areas for growth are just that I want to get back into tracking better, and I would love to beef back up my revolving sinking funds next month. So that is it for this closeout. I will do a debt payment update and update all my trackers in a separate video, just so this one won't be quite so long. So that'll be it for this video, and you can check out my debt payment update video if you're interested in that. And then I will have my May budget with me post after that. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for supporting me along my journey. I just love y'all so much, and I hope you had a lot of success in April. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.